Here's the cemetery road. I'm just filming when I go up to it. The cemetery's in the patch of woods to our left. And then there's 2 more barns on there I'll photograph, and we'll head to Independence Lake and be done. That means 2 lakes, 2 ghost towns, a mill, a waterfalls on the Pacific Crest Trail. Look at this. The land is very watery and lush. It's able to sustain crops and cattle. And, you know, it's really not that far across the mountains. I can see the Nevada high desert through the pasture. It might be 30 miles off. They took ore or ox wagons, and what they would do is load up hay and, oh, I see the fence. They load up hay and dairy and vegetables and bring them to these small mining towns, because the mining towns didn't have the ability to raise cattle or grow vegetables or alfalfa. All they did was mine. That was their sole purpose. And this is the cemetery gates. And we are here. It's just a hillside cemetery. You can see just a little turnstile gate. Cattle guard to keep the cattle that roam around here away from the graves. There's not many graves here, and the sun is uber bright. It's a nice, pretty little hillside cemetery, and we can walk in one circle all the way around it. Of course, these are newer gravestones, and I definitely want to focus more on the historic section, so we'll go up to everything's a toy when it comes to teenagers. We're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the historic section, which is the highest likely area we're going to get EVPs. We may not get any EVPs. Some people feel that ghosts do not haunt cemeteries. I beg to differ. I get plenty of EVPs at cemeteries. You just got to be patient when you do this type of thing. Be respectful. Care about the history a little, and you can do some really amazing things with EVP. It's a nice ranch cemetery. Nice ranching pioneer cemetery, should I say. It's in well-kept shape. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like it gets many visitors. The newer graves have flowers. The older graves are weathered. A lot of snowstorms, high winds in this valley during the cooler months. Snow. After 150 years, 140 years, it's going to be the cause of some names being illegible to read. Like this one, I can't read the epitaph. As you can see, it's very scenic, very picturesque. It looks like some restoration's been done. For example, looks like this broke in 3 pieces. It says Father, John Harrison Symes, 1899. May have been active. There's a church that's up the road a couple miles. Maybe he was a father maybe he was a father at that church. There's a historical fact about the church. I believe it's in the county, it's the oldest Protestant church. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's pretty quiet. Father, mother, son of 8 E. Davis, died 26 years old, 1888, September 1st. Father, mother, it's a family plot. It's a lot of old pioneer stones. We'll have our work cut out for us. I wanted to show everybody, this is a historic section. This is the Lemon family. This is an Army nurse who died in 1916. Age 83, 1 month, 11 days. Hudson Lemon. My point is, you can see the Nevada desert just over the range. My point is, Lemon Canyon, which is just on the outskirts of town, was named after these early pioneers who first came to Sierraville. It's a very gorgeous cemetery. A lot of old stones. including this cracked stone in multiple places, which looks like it's been fixed with this cracked stone with multiple pieces of Christopher Ensko. Also says George Ellis and Robert Ensko. Are 3 people buried here? I don't know. I love reading epitaphs, especially the historic epitaphs. Just make it worthwhile, truly. This is just a stone slab. Sorry, I'm blocking the sunlight. That's crazy. A couple more old stones and we'll be done here. I'm just focusing on the older interments, the pioneers that first came to Sierraville to ranch for the Comstock and the Sierra Butte mines. It's pretty amazing. We're also going to visit Independence Lake soon, and then we'll be done with our day. It's about 4 or 5 new adventures we'll add to our site. This is wonderful news. Gould and Mary infant son. Life was hard out here in the West. Even as a rancher, you had to deal with coyotes and mountain lions and killing your chickens, droughts, hot summers where your crops might not make it. Not so much in this valley, because it is rich and full of creeks and ponds and troughs and springs. It's a pretty cool place. Check out this wrought iron. Back in the day, you had to be a wealthy rancher to be able to afford not just the wrought iron, but the craftsmanship put into the epitaphs themselves. It's a really great cemetery. I love it. I'm just giving you bits and pieces of what it looks like from afar. 360 degrees, nothing but mountains, woods, and national forest for miles on every end. And a very large valley. It's one of the biggest valleys in the region. I'd say from here to the mountains, it's a good 15-20 miles. It's a pretty good sized valley. Wow. Back in the day, before they used grave markers, or gravestones I should say, they used wood grave markers. And obviously the wood would rot and you couldn't read the name. So they put probably in the early 1900s, 1920s, they put a little stone block like this with the name, which was pressed. This is unknown. You have a little stone. I've never seen anything like that. Wow. Amazing. The money that went into carving such stones was quite the task. Was not easy. This one has a draper. What looks like a scroll wrapped on top. Oh! Uncle and Auntie. It's a Bible. Another infant. Boy, life was rough back in the day. Ay, ay, ay.
You wicked one.
Let me go ahead and get a picture with this one up here. And then I got a couple for you boys, and we can wrap up our investigation. Check the EMF too. What kind of readings we get? Is it above a 2 yet? If anybody's hearing me, give me a sign you're here. Talking to the recorder, please. It is a symbol for one of the fraternal clubs? I just noticed that. But I came by to wrap up on the cemetery, and I noticed a few stones were missing, like the top piece to this. Newer graves are towards the shed, where they mow the lawn and maintain the cemetery, but then you come down over here and look, then below is a chain link. I'm thinking fraternal club. The Pioneer Cemetery is a really nice piece of history. There's benches, there's a picnic bench, a regular bench with butterflies. I believe most of the people buried here were Protestant. I could be wrong, but I believe in theory that Sierraville was mainly a Protestant town. And there are a few semi-ghost towns that have nothing but Protestant buried there. And I'll tell you what, their cemeteries are just gorgeous, out of this world. Newer graves along the fence and behind, and then the historic part of it sits up on a hill. It doesn't get any better than that. But I'm taking this road, this journey into the unknown, and anything's possible. I could get 5, 10 EVPs, no EVPs. At this point, it really doesn't matter. The point is that we really care about preservation and bringing you these lovely places, a peaceful place on a hill overlooking the mountains and the Sierras. The cemetery is a huge historical landmark to the people of Sierraville. So yeah, we got to preserve it. And there are some damaged stones. It appears weathering, but I've seen a few gravestones broken on top or missing a couple pieces or been mortared back together. Strange, all the graves are turned towards the entrance, and this one happens to be turned towards us. Interesting. So our last destination, we're going to take photos of 2 historic barns at the dead-end road. And I'm going to turn around and take this 6 to 8 mile dirt road to Independence Lake. See if it's an area that's worth Bigfoot investigating, maybe camping. I don't know. I might get there and say, you know what, this place, too many people are here, or the road's too rough. Who knows? We may not even be able to get back in that area. Some canyons are still filled with snow and get little sunlight. Church stone is wonderful. Katie E., beloved wife of A.D. Church, 1885. The oldest grave I've seen is about 1871, 1875. This is a truly wild western cemetery. It is so quiet you can hear the birds, a pin drop, a pine cone fall. It is what it is. And we'll wrap up this investigation of Sierraville. I hope I got killer EVPs, but if not, we're going to preserve this place so that for years to come, anyone who views our site will be able to enjoy it the same way I did, including this cemetery. Just want to say peace. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org.